We think that students have a voice and should have a voice. I think it's essential to get their opinion because they know their school, they know what they like, what they don't like, what they need.
Part of our ABAV result was that there's not a sense of belonging, that there's not an identity to the building. So the students have to be a key part of building that identity. Like in the end, it's their building, it's not ours. We're just stewards for the place. So in relations to what the CLC can do, I mean, it's that co-creation of what it actually means to be at Laval Senior Academy. It's not just the staff to create that. It's for the students to create it as well.
The most pressing question that we kept on asking is, what would you like? What would you like to change? If you had one wish, what would it be? From there, again, there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of buzz around that question. Again, and then you're just trying to funnel it and try to centralize on what is the reality of what we could do.
What was important for them in terms of how they feel about the school. Children focused a lot on the physical environment. It was really something that they talked a lot about, So that's why we created the beautification committee, the breezeway, because we think that also students need a space outside the school to be able to sit, to chill with different seating zones, creating environments, that will foster a better school climate. So we've targeted a couple of spaces in the school because students were saying that they did not have any space to chill, to socialize.
So at first, that's what happened. At first, we created our beautification committee. It was a committee where our aim was to give certain spaces in the school a facelift, let's say. Just because there is a lot of students and there is a lot of underutilized spaces and stuff like that in this school where, with a little love, these spaces could be used. They could be spaces where students feel comfortable, students could come socialize. So we coined this room as the Buzz, because there's supposed to always be something going on over here. It's supposed to be the hub. Student life happens here. We have a student life coordinator who comes in and does certain events. We have student council who comes and does their meetings here.
But we're looking to maybe eventually doing also the Oasis, which is downstairs too, which is also a space for the students, and they're not allowed having their cells anymore. Well, we need to offer them things to do, because we know that when they don't have nothing to do, well, sometimes that's where the problems start.
Because we do have a lot of older art in the school from the 70s and the 80s. So a lot of the students came up to us and said, we want our voice on the walls, or we want our vision on the wall. And so no problem. This grant that we could apply for, this, that, and whatever, we already do the Artist Inspire. Is there anything additionally? Yes, we kind of got a nudge from the Santé Publique. And then from there, we took it and we applied for it and we got it last year. And it was a beautiful mural. It's something that is on our building because we share the building with the city. So a bunch of community members, the city itself sees it, it's up 365, it's a beautiful mural. With the right partnerships, you'll always be steered and directed in the right direction, and you'll find more people who are willing to do more things and just help you out. Or for example, we were with, for the community garden, we partnered up with, it's a co-op down the street, but at first, all they were doing was showing us how to apply for the TD grant or the Desjardins grant or the Cébage grant and stuff like that. This was just something that they have a community garden. They know how to establish their garden and how to run that project. And I was interested in that. And through the CIS and through those partnership tables, they called me up one day and said, this is what you're going to do. This is the website, this, that, and that. I'll help you out through the whole project. And then eventually, when we had our community garden up and running, they were there to help deliver the project. I think you find like-minded individuals. You obviously find people who understand that they want to do everything to enrich student life and, try to give back to their community, or try to mold these citizens, right, for sustainability and just being accountable for themselves, and something that they could carry with them once they leave the building. A lot of the kids in the WOTP and the semi-skilled, although they would leave to do their stages because they're on a work-oriented training program, they needed something that was something that they could always identify as, because for them, at a certain point in the year, they're not in the building anymore. So they wanted something that was kind of like a legacy project where these students, we'll build this community garden. We'll help each other out. We'll be there screwing in the planks of wood and stuff like that. We'll be harvesting and watering these plants for not only this generation, but the next generations to come.
They want to see us change. We have to trust them. We have to trust their opinion. And why? Because also we can involve them also. When they give us their opinion, okay, yes, so what are you ready to do? What is your part of responsibility if you want to see those changes in your school? It's not just the adults. Everybody has a part of making a change in a school, and I think students too can be involved in that.
I think that is the biggest reward to them, because they come to you, they trust you, they have this idea, and they really want to bring it to life. They'll draw you up mock-ups, they'll tell you we could do this, we could do that, and then once you take that and you bring it to the table, you bring it to your partners, and it becomes it catches fire, let's say. And then when it's delivered, or when the students are integrated in that process of finally it becoming delivered and finally becoming something that they had thought of, like their ideas coming to life, for them, that's the most rewarding thing. It's, okay, well, I had a hand in this. I did this. This is something that will be here for a long time. And we did this together. And I had this idea, right, this random afternoon. Mr. Johnny had his door open. I went to go see him, and now we're finally bringing it to life. So I feel like it's the most. Then, with the reward process, I feel like the sense of identity comes around. You know, they're proud of who they are.
All these things, I would say, both inside and outside class, it's an opportunity to actually build some kind of relationship with the child, and it's those relationships that I'd say ultimately really impact the emotional development or the social development of a kid. It's all these interactions they have with each other and the adults with them that really help shape them. I remember when I used to teach English, I used to love etymology, right? The origins of words. So I used to explain to them the meaning of the word mentor, where it actually comes from. It actually comes from the Odyssey. So what ended up happening was that the goddess Athena, the goddess of wisdom, she turned into the old man of the village who was called Mentor. And so what Mentor did was he walked beside Telemachus, but he never told him what to do. So Telemachus was making all his decisions until his father came back home, and Mentor, Athena, was just walking with him in discussion, kind of like this parallel walk, not making the choices for the child. And I think fundamentally that is an important role that schools play. We shouldn't micromanage, but we should really kind of help them ask the right questions about their lives.